Hey YouTube, before I start this episode, you guys have been bullshitting. Way too many of you are watching the show, taking all the value for free and giving me dick in comments. I need a comment today. Do it. On this episode, we talk about my 20s, desktop in 20 years, and if it's okay for celebrities to bullshit you. This is Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is episode 112 of the Ask Gary V show. Super pumped here today. Looks like we're organizing for an all hands-on meeting that I don't have to run, which feels very good. That's the maturity of the company itself. Big ups to everybody who is supporting this show. I want you to know, Vayner Nation, I'm making this very black and white. This episode would never have happened 35, 40, 60 days ago. I'm like in meetings right now. I should be in a meeting right this second. I'm real tight right now. I have to go to Cannes for the big advertising festival. Literally, this was exactly, I see everybody shaking their head, you don't have cameras on them. This was exactly the kind of episodes that were not happening 60, 90, 120 days ago because running companies is what I do, and this would get trumped, but your enormous word of mouth, passing on the show, getting me new people, Instagram explosion, Facebook tagging each other, YouTube, I wanna talk to you. I just realized how many of you are watching on YouTube. If you don't leave a comment here, I'm gonna be pissed. Way more watching than commenting. You're getting lazy on me, YouTube. Step up. But I want you all to know, you get this show strictly because of the momentum, India. The momentum, Stefan. The momentum we are creating. India, let's get into the show. Yes, for show. Let's go.
Yule asks, in your mid-20s, do you wish you had done more things or focused more on one thing?
Great question, Yule. In my mid-20s, I focused on one thing. I actually was completely all in on Wine Library. There was nothing else. I've said on this show before that I wish I went out and hooked up with some more chicks and had some fun. That was one thing I wish I did because I was so, you wanna talk about being focused on one thing. As a 20-year-old guy in my 20s, it's actually uncomfortable how focused I was on the hustle and building the infrastructure of my career. I think at some level when you look back, you're always, I'm equally, this is where I'm like a paradox, I'm equally completely pumped because look how happy I am and those were great times and I'm happy now, like I would never change anything. At the same token, you're always looking back and be like, damn, I could have done this, I could have done that. I'm pretty happy with the way things have played out. I don't like to play Monday morning quarterback with my life, but I think it's served me well. I learned real foundational skills of how to run a company. It's why I'm hyper-focused and why I'm capable now to run a company while doing a couple of more things because I know what it takes, which is serious focus, though once in a while you jump in and do a show when you didn't have to. And so that's where I'm at with that. Thanks for the question, Yule.
Sam asks, you always say that people pay for services that give time. What area needs a time-saving business, like an Uber?
Sam, I don't know, all of them. For example, I would absolutely pay for my clone to do this show right now so I could be in the meeting that I really have to be in, right? Obviously that's a little far-fetched and a little far away, but I think there's a ton of things. I think I would pay a lot of money right now to have somebody on demand do certain things for my grandma in her retirement home, right? Picking up my cleaners. So obviously there's the Postmates and people that are saving time, but I actually think, I got a good one for you. I'm gonna go deep here a little bit, even though I'm in a little bit of a rush and clearly I'm talking a little faster than normal. So for all of you that are listening to this on 2x speed, let's 4x this shit. Here we go. When Facebook really hit and MySpace was still the kind of leader, everybody started creating niche social networks, right? Niche social networks. I would have invested in the baseball social network, the gardening social network, the goth museum social network. Like, I'm kidding. I really, the niches were happening, right? What it turned out to be, hindsight, was we only needed one social network. I actually think the reverse is gonna happen for the time-saving economy, meaning there's Postmates and there's all these kind of like, we do everything. I actually think this is gonna be a space where people win on niching out. So like a dry cleaner pickup thing. Ship, SHYP, I'm obsessed with. We got a little money in our last fund, disclosure for Ship. Not a lot, but boy, do I love them because nobody wants to go to the post office. So I think that's an incredible one. You know, I think there's look, I'll give you one, like I don't wanna go shopping. Like, come to me here at Vayner, let me put on some shoes and pants real fast, 5 minutes and I'm out. I will buy so much more. So personal shopping, coming here, big one. There's Instacart, so there's food. Literally anything you do, like question of the day, list 2 things that you do that you hate doing. That's in play. Because you hate doing it because you'd rather be doing something else. And that's where the time arbitrage is. And so, you know, gardening, hanging pictures in your house, like just everything. I just, everything is gonna be arbed. Anything a human doesn't want to do is in play. I'm trying to think of one more good example. Anybody got one that popped to their mind? No, but laundry's no, get back to it. Stefan, no. There's nothing that's a singular app right now that literally you press a button and you give somebody a bag like how about you don't even put a bag? How about they walk into your house and take your pile? Because we're living in a more open society where trust is a real play. We're letting people stay in our home. Wait a minute, you're telling me that somebody wouldn't leave their door open and just put a pile of, this is what I would do, put a pile of clothes in the front and somebody could come with the key and get it in a world where Airbnb, you're letting people stay in your home? Trust is on the rise, my friends, because transparency is on the rise. Getting harder to hide and do the wrong thing. Very, very interesting times. Kobe. The Kobe?
I don't think so.
Okay. Kobe, where are you at?
So is it okay? I'm asking a question.
No, D-Rock, that was a bad, yeah, there was no reason to go to India there. Misplay by you. Can I have a misplay D-Rock logo? D-Rock misplay, D-Rock misplay. All right.
Kobe asks, is it okay for celebs to promote products on Instagram without telling their audience they get paid for it?
No. And I'm sure it can happen. You know, like, listen, we invest in so many things. I'm always scared, like, talking about products and apps that we're in. I'm like, oh, ship right now, right? But is it okay? Absolutely not. Like, why in the world would that be okay? India? Like, I don't see any, I wanted to put on a show because I want to put the line in the sand, like, because people, I know how to put in a show, because people are like, hey, does Pinterest pay Gary to say it's good? I mean, are you crazy? I have you know how much money I've tied up in Twitter as I sit here on every show saying it's crap, it's losing, it's getting worse? Like absolutely, your word is always your most valuable asset. And celebrities that think they can trick their fans are gonna be in for a rude awakening in the long tail of their career. It's an insane play, it has no value, it's stupid. It happened, look, I try to disclose our investments all the time. Of course, you're a human, but knowingly non-disclosing, be like, this is great, and no, like, that's insanity. So also probably gonna be massively illegal as like the laws catch up to full disclosure and things of that nature. How about that part? So no, I don't think it's okay.
From Mike Stelzner.
Oh, Mike, yeah, Social Media Examiner.
Hey Gary, Mike Stelzner, Social Media Examiner. My question for you is podcast versus video.
Yeah.
Which one has been more effective for you? I know that you have a video show and you also have an Ask Gary podcast, and I'm just curious which one has been more effective, which one has more listeners. If you're recommending that somebody get started, should they do the video, should they do the podcast, should they do both? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks, Mike. Video's been more effective for me because this is a video first show, and then the podcast is just a transcribe for this. Psst, psst. So, you know, obviously for this show, it's been video. So many of the people are winning more on podcast because they either not doing the video or they're not as good at video. I think I'm better in video than podcast form. I'm also making the format for this. Obviously, if I made this for audio, I would have a different play. I did Wine and Web on Sirius for 9 months where that was made for audio, and it was a different show, a different format. I interviewed people. Obviously, that's what so much of the podcasts right now are really, if you think about it, I don't want to be disrespectful to the podcast. I have big ups for all the podcasts. I want to be on them when I'm promoting stuff, so I don't want to get into dirty territory here, but these podcasts are completely reliant on guests. Like, how do you keep it fresh otherwise, right? You know, I'm proud of being able to keep it fresh, one-man show kind of thing, well, obviously you characters. And so I think that for me it's been video. I think that the context and the format that you're creating for matters. So I think podcasts that are filming themselves doing the podcast and there's video won't do as well on video because that's secondary. Here, audio is secondary. So that's it. That's the net result, Mike. But I think the right platform is the right platform for you. I think that I have the charisma and the antics and the control of the camera that very few have, which is why I've had 2 successful video shows. And so I think I'm an anomaly there, and I'm going to milk that because that has extraordinary value. But there's plenty of other people who crush it because their voice is deep. My voice stinks. I mean, think about how many great voices there are. And so, like, you know, if you're rolling deep and, you know, you could do some stuff. So I think you gotta pick your medium. And that's the same with social networks. Are you better at Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook? You gotta find that and you gotta respect the context of the platform.
Sean asks, will desktop exist in 20 years?
Are we talking desktop computers, you think, right? Are we including this artifact?
Yeah.
Yes, this?
I think so.
I do, you know, it's in 20 years. I mean, you know, I really want to believe that we'll be like working on everything is smart. Definitely not the way we think about it now. Like, this is an artifact. I mean, I even think a laptop's weirdly artifact. I didn't even take my laptop home last night. I was at my in-laws' home. I'm going back there tonight, but I had a couple hours to work and I was able to do it all on my phone. That was unheard of for me a year ago. So if I'm evolving into that way, I think the whole rest of the market will. I 100% not the way we're at. Will there be something in between this and an iPad? I do think there's some screen needs, but I'm not even sure if I'm thinking about it right in a 20-year window. That's so far out. I mean, is the screen just right here? I mean, I think that's very feasible. I'm confident saying the screen's right here on this table. So, no, the answer is no. But I could be wrong. I can't wait to watch this in 20 years. To A, remember how great I looked at this time in my life, and B, to see if I was right. I asked the question of the day. That was already done in there. That was a good show.
Yeah, it was good.
I like that show. Fast and furious. Did I just get sued? You keep asking questions, I'll keep answering them.